Hello, I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio. Do you have a 1998 to 2013 Harley Davidson Electroglide, Streetglide, or Ultra? Do you still have this factory radio and you want to go from this to this? Let me tell you more about the latest from Soundstream Reserve, the WHD.SG. This radio has everything you've ever wanted for your Harley Davidson, so watch the video as I tell you more about it. All right, so let's start talking about the Soundstream Reserve WHD.SG. So about a year and a half ago, Soundstream Reserve, they changed the game when it came to Harley Davidson audio, and they introduced this radio, the HDHU 9813SG. It was the first purpose-built radio for your bike that had Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that went in that factory fairing. It was weatherproof and it had built-in thumb controls. But just like a long time ago, this was an awesome phone. And now we've moved on to the latest. I mean, check out that difference. It's time to move on and add some more features that are really needed now that really weren't prevalent when this radio was released a year and a half ago. And that radio is the new WHD.SG. Now the W stands for wireless because if you went back a couple years, you found out your phone didn't have enough battery to really support wireless CarPlay. But now that we have newer phones, better battery life, and we don't have to keep our phone plugged in while we're riding, wireless is an amazing technology. The new radio not only adds Apple certified wireless CarPlay and certified wireless Android Auto, it adds a more vibrant screen. As we've realized, a lot of you ride in different scenarios, different places, and that sun can be brutal. So this has a 1000 nit screen. It's the brightest screen that's ever been on a Harley Davidson radio. It's also going to be a more vibrant display for our neutral and turn signal indicators. So even with glare on the screen, you're going to be able to see it clearly. Built into the radio is the thumb controls, and that was the same on this one. It's always been internal. Some people have tried to say you had to add on a module or it wasn't fully weatherproof. This radio is 100% ready to be washed, go through the rain, any element you throw at it, this radio is going to continue to work for years and years like this one has. But it also has an upgraded output section for sound. Now we have, instead of 4-volt RCAs, we have true 5-volt RCA outputs. And those RCA outputs are designed to handle any kind of amplifier. When this particular model was introduced, we didn't realize how many common ground amps are still being used in the Harley world. That would give us some sound issues like background hissing and whines. We didn't get that from some of the more popular higher end amplifiers, but they've addressed that in the new radio now. So not only do we have a stronger output, but you can even put those common ground amplifiers that were causing noise issues on it and keep a perfectly clean signal. We also added a SiriusXM input. So SiriusXM wasn't available on the older model radio. Now it's an option to do a standalone tuner. You can also use the SiriusXM app inside CarPlay or Android Auto. Another thing you'll see when we go side by side is these new phantom buttons. So when the radio's off, you're going to have a very, very clean display with no buttons visible at all. They're going to magically appear when we power it up on the bike. Has a built-in 200-watt amplifier. It is a Class AB amp, and it is 2-ohm stable. So it's going to have a lot more power than that stock radio. On top of that, we have a 13-band EQ for plenty of sound adjustment. Everything you've been looking for in your bike, from correct built-in thumb controls, the use of that factory fairing, the modern technology of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to put your apps at your fingertips, built-in Bluetooth and AM/FM without the use of any adapters, completely plug and play and weatherproof. This radio is what you've been wanting. It's what you've been looking for. And I'm going to show you more about it in the bike. So let me get to the bike and show you this radio in action. All right, so we've got the radio in the bike and I want to show you some features on it. First, I want to tell you, this radio is on pre-order currently. So at the time this is being shot, this radio does not exist yet. This is a pre-production prototype. It is a beautiful radio, and I'm showing you exactly what you'll get if you pre-order one, but it will not be shipping till early February. You can go to volunteeraudio.com to see more about the features, the pricing, and to even order one to make sure you have one by riding season. Also, this radio is completely plug and play and bolts in where the original radio went. We do not have to replace the inner fairing. We do not have to modify the bike in any way to make this work. And it's completely weatherproof and vibration resistant. You can wash it. You can get caught in the rain. It's completely sealed. There's no worry about rain on this radio. Now I want you to look while I've got it off too. These buttons, they call them phantom buttons. When the radio's off, you cannot see the buttons on the side of the screen. I think it's a very cool, clean look for your bike. Let's get it powered on. I'm going to go through the features that really set this radio apart from other radios and your factory radio. All right, as you see, it's booting up here. It's very, very quick to load, very quick to come on. I've got my phone connected for wireless CarPlay, and this radio has certified wireless Apple CarPlay built in. So you're going to see it connect to my phone very quickly and bring up Apple CarPlay to screen. Just that fast, your phone is connected without having to plug it in. It's in my pocket. It'll do the same thing with Android Auto. Now, with that, you have the ability to display your apps from your phone. Everything that they deem safe will show up here on screen. That gives you navigation from Apple Maps, Google Maps, Waze, the latest in music from Spotify, Pandora, SiriusXM, Slacker, iHeartRadio, everything from your music that you have from Apple Music or even your podcast. It's all at your fingertips, it's all wireless, and it's on your radio. Beyond that, if we go to the home screen of the radio, you'll see we have some other features. It still has built-in AM/FM radio. The ability to do a standalone SiriusXM tuner, the SXV300 could be plugged in from behind, and you don't have to have your phone connected for that. But you still have SiriusXM in Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. It does have Bluetooth. It does have Bluetooth phone. You're not going to use that because your phone's going to be connected through CarPlay and Android Auto. That's the way you're going to want to do it. And it still has a USB input. So if you've got a bunch of music on a USB flash drive, plug it into the cigarette lighter after you swap out to the new port, and you'll be able to play all that music. It also has a backup camera input. This radio goes in tri-glides. So if you got 3 wheels, or if you just have a tour pack and you have a hard time seeing the back of your bike as you're backing into parking spots, you have a camera input, push that button, you can view whether it be the wireless HD vision camera or a wired camera. There's a port on the back of the radio to accept that. Now beyond that, we have the amazing control over sound. So built in is a 200 watt Class AB amp. It sounds so much better than stock just by changing the radio. It's a really good boost in power. But on top of that, we have a lot more control over our audio. We have balance and fader built in. Let me show you that. You can see your bike. You just scroll to whichever area you want to balance or fade to that area of the bike. We also have a built-in 13-band EQ. It can be custom set. You could also go through and do the different presets that are built in. So much more sound control than you had from that original radio. A lot of those didn't even have bass and treble adjustment. We have built-in crossover, so we have the ability to set a high pass or low pass filter. We can also change the slope and the frequency to get the best sound out of our speakers. We don't need a 6.5 or a 5 1/4 plain low bass. It's just going to distort. This is going to give you more volume and more clarity without having to necessarily upgrade those speakers to get that. We also have full control over a subwoofer. You can control subwoofer volume, crossover, phase, all built into the radio, including an amp turn-on delay if you have an issue with a pop from an add-on amplifier. They've thought of it all. They've built it all in. This radio is awesome. On top of that, this is the brightest display we have ever seen on a Harley radio. And it's got an amazing dimmer to dim it down at night because you're going to need it because it is bright, so bright during the day. It's going to overcome any of that reflection from the sun so you can see it clearly while riding. They've also improved this upper bar. This is a really cool idea from Soundstream. You know, behind here from the factory was your neutral bar, the area where you can see your turn signal indicators, or things like oil pressure. It's all up here on that bar. That is a standalone unit that plugs in from behind. They've made that brighter, more vibrant. They've done an amazing job. So over any previous radio, this is the first radio for your Harley that has built-in wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto that's truly certified. On top of that, it's the brightest screen you can get. It has that SiriusXM input, and they upgraded the sound output. So instead of having a 4-volt RCA out, it is a 5-volt clean RCA out. I don't care what amp you hook to it, it's going to sound amazing. And even the built-in 200-watt amp sounds so much better than the stock radio. All right, so if you want to know more about the radio, if you want to pre-order one now, click the link above and go to volunteeraudio.com. There we'll have more photos, more features, even links to other videos we've made on the radio. You can also give us a call at 1-844-30-AUDIO. We have a very knowledgeable sales and tech staff here to answer your questions before the sale, as well as walk you through tech support and how to install it after you get it. Subscribe to Volunteer Audio to learn the latest about Harley audio as it comes out. We're going to show you the product before it's even available. We'll show you how to put it in. We'll show you how to use it and decide if it's the right move for you before you spend your hard-earned money. and give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about your bike, your build, your budget, help you put together the perfect audio system for your Harley. Like this video. By doing so, it moves us up in search results. It allows other people to find this video. It helps them learn about the audio as well. Thank you for doing that. Comment below. Let me know what you think about the latest from Soundstream. We know what you think about it for your bike. If you have any comments or questions, put it there. I'll be quick to answer it. It helps everybody see what's going on. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.